Hello everybody, welcome to Blue Goose Garage. I'm in the blue Metro. I didn't really show you as much. You can kind of see we're in the bush. I put a battery back on it. It's set since January. And then fire it up. So, quick refresh on this car. It's got, on the engine, it's got over 500,000 miles on the rebuild. If you wanted to count how many it's actually got, it's got closer to 7. So, it's got quite a bit of rust. Quite a bit of rust. I parked it last year because it's only got one brake. And the brake lines are so rusty that I didn't mess with fixing it. But the rear suspension is falling off the car. Come on, focus. Both sides are like that. The control arms are falling out from under the car. It pretty much went as far as it could go. Wore out, body's rotted, been wrecked a bunch of times. I was originally going to try to clip the car. There's not enough of it left to clip. But at the same time, I didn't want to leave it and not drive it anymore. So, that car. That one's got a good title. Had an electrical issue. We parked it and parted it out because of that. The engine out of that car ended up in my convertible. I rebuilt the engine since then. But that car's got a little bit of rust, but it's in a lot better shape than this one. It hasn't been wrecked like this one has. It's a better car than this one. Also, this has very little to do with it, but Danny was going to replace this car with that car. That never really happened, so now I'm going to do it. But we got a load of those. I don't even know if you can see that flying around. We got a load of these. The car sat all year. I parked it in January. This is September. It's sat all year. I put a battery on it. Dad raised the hood for me because, you know, I'm scared of beasts and stuff, whatever. But he raised the hood for me. I put a battery on it. It fired right up. Not bad. But before I put this engine in this car, I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to put rings, gaskets, and seals in it. Other than cleaning it, I'm not messing with that head. I want to see how long that head can actually run. If it happens to immediately burn a valve after it gets rebuilt, that could happen, but I don't think it will. When you re-ring something that's wore out, you can have a valve burn after that because suddenly you have compression again, and that's when you find out the valves aren't actually sealing as good as you thought they were. But you know, if it does, I'll have a valve job done, or I'll do a valve job, but I think it'll be okay with a set of rings and seals. Keep in mind, That's at idle. Makes a lot of blow by, especially when it gets warmed up. It is constant. Last year, to get it to where it would quit blowing so much oil out of the engine, I put that hose right there over the dipstick. And as you can see, that's off the crankcase directly. That's down in the oil pan. It works. It made it quit blowing oil out of it. Before it did that, it would either blow the dipstick out of it or blow oil out of the crankcase like crazy. You couldn't keep oil in it. It would use a quart in 50 miles. I did that, and it barely uses any. But you know, I could run it like that for a while longer. Well, since I bought a set of rings and a head gasket and stuff, I can just go ahead and put a set of rings in it, replace a few seals, and see how long it'll run. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, which should actually be that engine's second rebuild. Normally, you know, rebuilding an engine, re-ringing it, that's something you can really normally only do once. If that. A lot of people would say you can't do that, but normally that's something you only do once. And then the second time, you know, you'd have to put pistons in it, have it bored and stuff. Old school rules. Also, it's kind of neat, but you know, old school rules, a set of rings would have been like a 60,000 mile rebuild, not $500,000. This engine was rebuilt back when the rings you bought for Metro engines and valves you bought for Metro engines were from Japan. The modern ones you buy are from China, and they're not as good as the Japanese built stuff. The rings I bought for this were 12 bucks. The oil pump gasket set was 12 bucks. The head gasket was $13. The timing belt kit with tensioner pulley and water pump was $22. So my plan for this engine and the whole car, really, not just the engine, but the whole car, is to do everything I need to do to switch everything over from this car to this car and get that one where I can drive it for less than $100. A few years ago, about 5 years ago, I rebuilt the 396 that's in my 67 Chevelle, and at the time I did that for $100. Actually, at the time I did that for $75, but that was a big block Chevrolet that I re-ringed for less than $100, and I've been driving it for 5 years. I decided really with this to go a little further, and we're going to rebuild an entire car for less than $100 and drive it until it can't be driven. I'm going to paint that car. I'm going to paint it a slightly darker blue than that to try to make it closer to this. I've got the paint. I've got some clear. I figure I can scuff that car, spray it with the clear, with the base coat, and spray it with clear that I already have. It's $100 rebuild, you know, but the whole car. $100 restore, $100 restoration. There you go, $100 restoration. Even if it is something nobody else is interested in, I really do not care. I'm interested in it. It's my channel. I happen to enjoy working on Metros, and I hope that you like this video. I will go ahead and say, if you don't want to watch Metro videos, you don't have to. There'll be other stuff later on, you know. There'll be other videos made about other things. But for a little bit, the channel's going to be Metros and Fiats. Maybe a Chevelle video here and there. But as far as working on anything, it's going to be Metros and Fiats, just because that's what I'm working on. A bunch of YouTube channels like to say things like, are we going to lose the shop? Well, sure looks like we lost the shop. We don't have a shop. I've not really determined how I'm going to do this yet, but more than likely, I want to set the tripod up over here with the phone over here out of the sun so it won't overheat, and just kind of from this angle or so take apart that car after I've got that one completely stripped down. You can see I've already got all the wiring out of the front part of this car, the fuse boxes, the firewall harness, the front clip harness. I have tried to do this without destroying as much of the clips and stuff as I can. I'm taking all the harness, everything out of this car. It's going to be a bare shell except the windshield. And take everything out of this, completely stripped, and then I figure I'll start at the tail lights on that car and work forward and replace everything on this one area at a time until the front end looks like that one, with the headlights and the hood and everything back on it. It's not really a rebody because I'm using this car's VIN number. It's more of a fits in this car. I'm still going to say that I have fixed this car even though it's using this one's VIN. It's kind of like if you had Grandpa's axe and you changed the handle 2-3 times and the head twice, you'd still call that Grandpa's axe. Well, in this situation, I'm replacing everything but the engine and transmission. And this is still going to be Harvey's car. And Danny's. People that like budget rebuilds and fixing something that's been in the parks, you know, been in a field for years. That car's been parked since 2017. You know, maybe you just can enjoy it. Anyway, tell me what you think. In reality, I do not care. If all you're going to comment is something negative, you can either keep it to yourself or go ahead and comment it. I really don't care. It's not going to change my opinion on what I want to do. And, you know, everybody has an opinion. They're kind of like assholes, but everybody has one. I'm still going to do what I want to do. So, you know, you can enjoy it, or you don't really have to watch the video. Either way, that's fine. You know, Metros are what I enjoy doing, and everybody has a reason. I'll see us again next time. Keep on Metroing. Yeah. Bah.